Hey folks, Dave here, known on YouTube as the Not So Evil Viking 13, and welcome to my new Empire Total War series based off of the American Civil War Brothers vs. Brothers mod. This is my new series called the Confederate Republic. As you guys might guess, I will be playing as the Confederacy for this mod. I've spent two entire series playing as the USA, and I'm a huge fan of alternate history and what-if scenarios. So in this series, we're going to set aside the complicated political reality of the American Civil War, and we're going to look at just answering a basic question. Is a confederation of states allowed to secede from the Union? And hopefully, we're going to answer that question with a battle victory over the Union. I am running the version 3.4 of the ACW mod. That's an older version, but it appears to be the most stable. The more recent 3.6 beta that's available is really unstable and is basically a guaranteed corrupted save game within about 15 to 30 turns. I am going to go ahead and warn you guys though, there is a pretty good chance that even this 3.4 version will get to a point where the campaign gets corrupted and cannot continue. This mod, as awesome as it is, does have some pretty severe bugs right now. So just out of the gate, expect the possibility that this series might end abruptly. All that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the campaign and establish our Confederate Republic. Unfortunately, because I am running the older 3.4 version of this mod, I don't have any starting armies or generals. I'll have to actually recruit all of those on my own. Updated versions of this mod do add those, but they also add a lot more campaign instability, and I'd like to get as far as I can before the crash of doom arrives. To help me build up, I do have 50,000 gold right at the start. You guys might also notice that this map is quite a bit different. This is actually the map from the Warpath DLC. That's the Native American DLC for Empire. What that gives us is a few more territories out here in the west, and a few more divisions. It's also a lot more just America focused, obviously. I actually can't leave North America. Makes sense, I guess. For the major nations here in North America, it's the Confederate States, which is us, versus the Union States, which is friendly to us right now. Definitely brothers versus brothers scenario here. Confederation Grenada, France, Great Britain, Haiti, Mexico, Venezuela, with a huge name there, Spain, and United Provinces, the Dutch. I obviously can't do much as far as negotiation goes with the Union. I mean, we just declared our independence, splitting the Union, so I'm not going to try to make a trade agreement or stuff like that. The UP though, how about you guys? Will you trade? They're not interested. Oop. How about for 3,000 gold? I want to get some money flowing before the blockades start. How about Great Britain? Will you trade with the Confederacy? Oh, they will. Who else does that leave? There's Mexico. They're indifferent. For 3,500. Can I offer them technology, perhaps? Let's do 4,200. They're actually ahead of me in technology. I might give Mexico a state gift and work on that trade for next turn, because having the land border right there might come in handy as far as trade goes. State gift, finest china. We'll see how that goes. I guess it's time to start building here, guys. Barracks, ordnance factory, governor's residence, Confederate Dragoon Cavalry. We'll get one of those going. Confederate Vignette Cavalry, used for scouting. And then some volunteer infantry. We'll start there. I'm not going to build up economic stuff in Virginia just yet because we're so close to the Union border right there. Now that's a cool touch. The trade routes are trains. Awesome. Simple roads and railways. Let's go ahead and build those up. Especially out here in the west, we're going to have to move troops so quickly out here in these giant expanses of terrain. All the way out to Santa Fe, New Mexico. It looks like here in the winter of 1861, the Union owns Kansas Territory as well as Nebraska Territory. And Iowa and Minnesota. I'm going to bet that I don't have any actual generals that I can recruit just yet because I have no military barracks anywhere. Do some farms, cotton plantations, more farms there. Okay, so our income for next turn is estimated to be 16,000. That's not bad, seeing we have no army and no navy. Speaking of which, let's upgrade these trade ports and then check for a naval yard. Do we even have one? Some farms. I don't see a naval yard. Perhaps at Norfolk? No, at Yorktown. Okay. And it actually hasn't been established yet. How many turns until that happens? 18 turns until we get to build anything at Yorktown. Man, does that leave me with no option for the Navy, or can I just build ships from the trade port? Looks like I cannot. Florida, how about you? Any docks? Not for 26 turns, it looks like. Get these mines going here. Oh, Frankfort, Kentucky. You're right across the border. I'll recruit some line infantry right there. Confederate militia. If possible, I'll go for Kentucky early on. That's a nice close win for me. Jackson, Mississippi. This looks like my second strongest capital. Make sure that you guys have your railways going. Any more farms I can build, like, back out of the front lines? No, not in this territory. But for trade, what's most valuable? Coffee or sugar? Definitely sugar. We'll go for a sugar plantation. And I'll send some more units up to Jackson, Mississippi. Burning through that 50,000 gold quickly here, guys. I think I'm just going to go for all these farms, even if they're out in the middle of nowhere close to Union borders, just because they're only 300 gold per farm, and I'd like to go ahead and get them started. Not too bad as far as losses go, if they fall. Everything building, building, building. There's more farms here in Florida. More farms in Mississippi. Nashville, what is that territory name? Alright, if you guys can pronounce that, link me to something that shows me how, because I'm not even going to try. That's a crazy name. Here, just in the Mexico region, it looks like. It's a giant chunk of what would become Mexico, I think. It's a bit hard to tell where you are as far as geography goes without the west coast being shown. Guess we do have the rivers here as reference, but anyway. 700 gold left. Confederate militia in Upper Texas, and we're out of coin. I guess our Navy's just gonna have to not exist until I can build some actual docks. Does the Union have a dockyard? Okay, so because we are on the older version of the mod, we're just way behind both the Union and Confederacy in the tech tree, so I don't think anyone actually has a dockyard. It looks like, yeah, the Union is asking for a trade agreement in exchange for regions. I'll offer you 150 gold, Abraham Lincoln, but that's all. Do you jest, sir? Surely you must. France would like to trade. Passing for now. Guys, I'm not going to give away territory for trade. The American Civil War. Looks like this chronicles some of the regions for the outbreak. Slavery and economic reasons. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. I love the tidbits of history. I'm glad that the mod creators added that, just like the base game has. That's a lot of construction. Alright. Lots of armies recruited. You know, DC is a bit exposed here. And it looks like I can't recruit generals instantly, as you can in Empire. I'll have to recruit them. So for now, this army has no commander. I can now recruit regular line infantry though, so this will probably be my army of Northern Virginia. Some line infantry, as well as the unique unit Hampton's Legion. And I'll upgrade to a drill school as well, and get some better roads going. Do a weaver's cottage. Clearances for the farms, clearances for the farms. I feel like the Carolinas are going to be pretty key as far as my economic base goes. And next turn, with 8 troops here on the border of Frankfort, Kentucky, I might make a push for it. Some farms. And some mines. Let's get these new troops up to Jackson. More Hampton's Legion for the units there in Jackson itself. And line infantry. That's our most western actual army as of right now. One more militia for Upper Texas. I probably can't ignore Texas for too long, but if I strike at DC and Kentucky quickly, I might make some early gains here, guys. We'll see. I guess for next turn, I'm going to try and get some of that trade going with other nations, but it's most likely going to cost me. Ooh, I can raise taxes just a bit. Doesn't appear to do much though. I'm not sure what they've changed with the tax system. I'll just leave it at default for now. For ministers, Ivan Graham, you are really high rank. Attorney General, who can I replace here? Let's do the Treasury. Harvey Stanley. And our government popularity is at 48%. The Union wants to trade. The South succeeds. Still in the winter of 1861. Looks like we have some modified turns here as well. It looks like construction is accelerated to make up for the fact that we start with basically nothing. Do some cavalry and more infantry. Can I recruit a general yet? Yes, General Robert E. Lee, Dragoons. And our first cannons here for the Army of Northern Virginia. These guys, Confederate Zouaves, possibly? Is that a French word? These volunteers dazzle their enemy with their fancy uniforms. Sure. Let's get some of those. So it looks like in this turn we have not only the succession of the Confederate Republic from the Union officially, but also the first use of telescopic sights, the first snipers, if you will. Mexico, you are indifferent. Come on, let's trade. 5,000 gold. Yes! Trade with Mexico. Expensive up front, but that may come in handy. I think I'll leave that be for this turn. Build up the barracks here in Mississippi. I'll recruit a single cannon, and then in West Texas, I'll construct a barracks. Gotta get things rolling for Midland right there. Can't let it lag too far behind. Ah, Spain also wants to trade with our new nation here. Robert E. Lee, the idol of the South to this day. Interestingly, Robert E. Lee was viewed as a hero, especially after he published his memoirs, and after his death, by both the North and the South. He was seen as a kind of grandfather figure who cared about his country, his home state of Virginia, and especially his men. And he was a big part of healing the wounds in the U.S. after the war. I'll build a military academy here. Speaking of Robert E. Lee, I am actually related not too distantly to him. My family can trace our line back almost right to Robert E. Lee, but because of a couple of courthouses that burned down, we can't make the final connection. But it's really close. Okay, 11,000 gold. The Union is building up more of an army here, so let's get some cannons going. Oh, we can't. More roads and railways then.
Sir, your orders?
You guys need more cannons. and more infantry. I'll ignore Texas for just a minute, and I was thinking about actually doing more trade stuff, possibly paying off some other countries to trade with us, but don't think we need to. We're trading with Spain, Mexico, Great Britain, and for now the Union. France is unfriendly to us. There's too many ties with the Union. Haiti is indifferent. The UP is friendly though. Let's give it a shot. How about 4,000, guys? Oh, am I actually out of trade options? I might be out of ports. No. They're out of ports because I can still trade with other nations, but they can't. How about you guys? Let's do the same 4,000. I'm not going to give you lower Texas. Okay, 4,800 last offer for this turn. Nope, they still wanted Texas. But hey, that gives me some money for building things up here in Texas. There we go. Plenty of troop recruitment going on, and it looks like the Union is finally mobilizing their troops as well. Technically, the Confederates fired the first shots of the war, so that might happen next turn here in Kentucky, instead of Fort Sumter in the Carolinas. And here we go. War has been declared between the Union States and the Confederacy. France is being called to assist the Union. Okay, France has declined to actually officially declare war on us. I'm glad that Texas is actually getting built up now. I feel like some of these units are glitching when the building upgrades. They kind of just disappear into the nether between turns. So I thought I had recruited some guys here in Texas last turn. Maybe I'm going crazy though. Recruitment. Looks like Mississippi and Texas. The American Civil War. This one's talking about the issue of slavery. And the novel Uncle Tom's Cabin. Man, I love the history editions. Nice work, guys. Now, for technology, I guess... Yeah, I don't have any universities, so there's no way to actually research technology. The Union has 5 actual units, and then some militia here in Kentucky. I might make a go at them and see how it goes. Here in Virginia, though, DC is too defended right now, and our army is still too much of a work in progress to make that push just yet. But, hey, we do have General Robert E. Lee in the Army of Northern Virginia. St. Louis. There's a lot of armies just kind of moving around it. I might go ahead and start moving north towards St. Louis.
Troops forward.
And I'll build those farms too.
Setting up camp.
Well, the UP Still not trading with me, but they're friendly. Come on, guys. Yes, we have trade. That's definitely going to help. If we can keep Abraham Lincoln from blockading the South, that steady flow of trade might keep the Confederacy alive. For now, though, guys, it's time to attempt to take Frankfort, Kentucky.
Sound the call to battle!
It's going to be a close fight, but we do have some dragoons that might be the key to victory. Demand surrender. They have refused, so here we go. Looks like a snowy day here in Kentucky, at least on the ground. In the air, we have some nice cold rain. Got some fortifications here. I might use the town if I can. I'm going to set up 2 center groups here, 1 and 2, and just keep the cavalry on their own. Group 1 first, and then Group 2 on the right with cavalry and cavalry. Group 1, I want you to take the hill, but slowly. Group 2, take this hill. Dragoons number 1, I want you guys marching through town and around. Ooh, actually, I see units out here by themselves. Dragoons, make a charge right now. Try and prevent them from meeting up with the main force. What do we have here? It's how many? 270 Union militia. They're trying to form a line here. Hopefully I can jump this fence and get them before they form up to fire. Yep. And let's hit them in the back. Group 1, come on up this way. Group 2, right here. And this unit is now attacked from the rear and the front. They're definitely outnumbered now. Dragoons are holding their own, it looks like. Union has lost almost 100 men so far. The first engagement of our version of the American Civil War here in Kentucky. You guys charge in with sabers and help the dragoons, and we'll get a move on here. Actually, they might break before you even get there. Wavering, wavering, come on. Come on. I've got a feeling here, guys, that these battles in the Civil War campaign are going to be a smaller and more tactical scale compared to the American Republic and the road to independence. Okay, Dragoons, I want you guys to go ahead and start marching way around, just nice and slow. The 12th Regiment of Foot Union Militia is shattered. Okay guys, let's not bother with the chase. Go ahead and form back up over here. It looks like there's a wall back here I could possibly use. Either way, there's definitely a hill. We're gonna get almost to rifle range. Looks like the Dragoons actually got some experience from that fight too. Not bad. And their commanding unit is on this side. Mine is this one, I think. No, it's the... Aha! This one is my stand-in general, if you will. Here in the 1860s, it looks like our muskets have definitely increased in range. You look at our pie right here, that's a pretty solid amount of range for sure. These guys are encouraged, flanks are secure. Not for long though, guys, not for long. Just in case they're within rifle shot, I'm going to have the cavalry just charge right through here, get through quickly. And we're behind their defenses. Time for a slow walk. Oh, they're going to turn. Firing some shots. No losses, thankfully. I'll stay behind the hill here, but up here, I'm going to take the hill. And with our cavalry basically in position, let's get the main event started here, guys. Troops, charge forward. Take those first shots. And it looks like they're going to do a bit of panic moving. Ah, a nice line shape, actually. Very nice. I might get the first shots off, though. Nope. Almost at the same time. I do have a slight hillside advantage, it looks like. You guys, close this gap here quickly. Cavalry make a push. I'm definitely going to take some losses here in the middle of the fight, but my Dragoons should be enough to break their morale and get them running. The Union forces appear to be a little bit better at fire drills than my forces are. And we are nice and close now. Cavalry, pull back, just so we don't get too much crossfire going. Close the noose. Close the noose. Dragoons, pull back. We have caused their lines to break their formation, and now our troops can get a bit closer. Fall back, cavalry, fall back. What are you guys doing? We're running all the way down our own lines here. That militia is still active. Let's go ahead and just hit them with the cavalry. Both sides, why not? I think our Dragoons, combined with our slight hillside advantage here, is making up for our slightly worse accuracy. Let's go ahead and have you guys charge in from the left here. Break, break, break. Everyone's getting pretty tired here. Enemy general killed. Just random fire, it looks like. But I'll take it. I think in this campaign I'm definitely going to have a lot less running down of retreating armies. After all, these are our former countrymen. That being said, yeah, I think I'll just end the battle here, guys. That got us a heroic victory. We lost 300 men, but the Union lost 1857. Wow, that retreat was not kind to them. Top kills, the cavalry, of course, and then one of our units of militia here that I actually can't tell which one it is got 167, but all of the militia actually got a lot of kills. And now Kentucky belongs to the Confederacy. Repair that. Alright. I am a bit worried about the West, though. I mean, we've got to protect Richmond here in the East, but they also have to protect DC, so I detect a standoff happening here. But out west is where things could get really, really active. I'll go ahead and give them one more AI turn. What are they up to? Okay. Still the winter of 1861, but Lincoln has been inaugurated. Johnny Reb, or Johnny Rebel, is the national personification of the Southern States soldier. Southern patriots also use Johnny Reb to symbolize the lost souls of the war, and he's personified as being young, poor, and uneducated. Also being white and not yet 15 years old. And then Billy Yank is the personification of the Northern States. That's actually really interesting. Billy Yank is pictured wearing a blue Yankee uniform with 4 brass buttons. There's our construction for this turn. Our recruitment. And Jefferson Davis, choir master. Oh right, Davis, that's our president, obviously. I might replace one more person here in the cabinet. Perhaps our head of the cabinet. Got +1 happiness for the nobility, but not much else. Does anybody else want to trade? France, because you're allied with US, I guess I won't get much out of you. Haiti, how about yourself though? 2,500 perhaps? I'm not gonna give you Mississippi. How about 4,000? Okay, we don't have a lot of money to waste on countries that can't make up their minds. Well, let's get more volunteer infantry here in the Army of Northern Virginia. And more cavalry. And more of these dazzling line infantry. There we are. Economic upgrades. Cotton plantation. How is the price of cotton doing? Pretty well, and that's definitely a staple of southern exports. I'll work on that. Military Academy.
Sir.
You guys could use more cavalry and ground infantry, it looks like. Give you one more cannon, too. West Texas. You guys should be marching out here. I'll give you some line infantry and some cavalry as well. Time to start building up these western armies. Okay guys, there you have it. Still the winter of 1861. It's actually hard to tell where in the winter we are, but our first battle is complete. Our first territory is won, but the Union is doing a lot of buying and a lot of troop movements in the fog of war, so we definitely have reasons to be concerned. I am happy though that we have strong trade right out of the gate. I just hope that we can maintain it. Next turn, I might try and figure out if there's anything I can do to recruit a fleet. There just might not be. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode of the new series. If you have any tips or suggestions for the Brothers vs. Brothers mod, maybe a suggestion of a different beta version I could use that's more stable, but I'm pretty confident that does not exist after all my research trying to figure that out. Or if you have some suggestions for how we progress, let me know. As always, Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.